Welcome to my channel. When we are poor, we remain poor. So, what is it? Vicious circle of poverty, and it is given by Ragnar Knox. It is important for economics students of IGNOU CUET and all economics honors students. So, vicious circle of poverty is a key concept in development economics. It was introduced by Ragnar Knox in 1953 in his book Problems of Capital Formation in Underdeveloped Countries. It explains why poor countries or less developed countries remain trapped in poverty. Knox famously described as a circular constellation of forces tending to act and react upon one another in such a way to keep a poor country in a state of poverty. In simple words, a country is poor because it is poor. The circle operates in two sides, on supply side and demand side. So first we see supply sides. Capital formation problem is the key problem in supply side. Low per capita income leads to low savings, which leads to low investment in capital, and which leads to deficiency of capital, which leads to low productivity, leads to low per capita income, and it again back to the start. It means low and in demand side, market size problem. Low per capita income, low purchasing power leads, low per capita income leads to low purchasing power and demand, which leads to low inducement to invest, which leads to low investment, which leads to low capital formation, leads to low productivity, and it leads to low income again back to start. What does it mean back to start? Low income leads to low productivity leads to low capital formation, which leads to low investment, which leads to low inducement to invest, which leads to low purchasing power or demand, and which leads to low income again. So these two sides reinforce each other, creating a self-perpetuating low-level equilibrium. Even if resources exist, the economy stays stuck at low activity levels. So it is shown in a circular diagram like low income, low savings, low demand. So low savings leads to supply side, low demand in demand side leads to low investment, low inducement to invest, leads to low capital formation, leads to low investment, low productivity leads to low income again, and it goes on. So in Indian context, we take the example. We consider a small farmer in rural Bihar or any area or pre-green revolution India. Due to low income, the farmer cannot save enough to buy better seeds, fertilizers, or irrigation equipment. This leads to low agricultural productivity and low output. Low output again results in low income, so the farmer remains unable to invest. On the demand side, poor rural population has very little purchasing power, so there is no market incentive for private firms to set up industries or modernize agriculture. This is circle to large parts of India's economy stagnant for decades until targeted interventions like Green Revolution and five-year plans broke parts of the cycle. This theory is central to economics as it highlights the structural causes of underdevelopment and need for external intervention to break the circle. Thank you.